The City Council is considering whether to establish a dedicated nature preserve on land that we own in the lower Ellerby Creek area. Council members heard a presentation on the proposed Ellerby Creek Waterbird Colony Dedicated Nature Preserve during their January 20th work session. The 284-acre property that's being considered is located downstream from the North Durham Water Reclamation Facility and adjacent to Falls Lake. Some of the area was recently designated as a natural heritage area by the state because of a well-known heron rookery and habitat for other native plants and animals. Designating the property in this way would ensure conservation and prohibit deforestation and urban development. If the Council adopts the necessary articles of dedication, the proposal would be reviewed by the Natural Heritage Advisory Committee and the North Carolina Council of State. If accepted, the dedicated nature preserve would be created. Our new Community Safety Department is preparing to launch 4 major crisis response pilot programs this year. Plans for the pilots were presented to the City Council during its January 20th work session. They include the Crisis Call Diversion Pilot, which will embed licensed mental health clinicians into the 911 call center to triage, assess, and respond to behavioral and mental health-related calls that are non-emergent and non-life-threatening. The Community Response Team Pilot, which will dispatch unarmed, skilled, and compassionate responders to provide in-person care for behavioral health, mental health, and quality of life-related calls that are nonviolent and non-life-threatening. The Co-Response Pilot will dispatch a licensed clinician with a crisis intervention-trained police officer to the highest risk calls involving mental and behavioral health needs. And the Care Navigator Pilot will follow up with persons who experienced a behavioral health crisis within 48 hours of the initial call for service to help link people to the appropriate community-based care. The pilot programs are expected to launch this summer. More information about the Community Safety Department can be found at durhamnc.gov/4576. Our Regional Transportation Planning Organization wants your input on some changes to the current Comprehensive Transportation Plan. The plan outlines how transportation needs for our area will be addressed for the next 30 years and beyond. The Durham-Chapel Hill-Carrboro Metropolitan Planning Organization is asking for input on an amendment to the plan. The amendment removes the former Durham Orange Light Rail Transit alignment and incorporates the NCDOT's Complete Streets Guidelines. It also changes several local roadways, including Irwin Road, Pettigrew Street, University Drive, and Hobson Road Extension, and removes the planned Ellis Glover Connector Road. In addition, it adds bus access improvements to Fayetteville Street, Holloway Street, North Roxborough Street, and Chapel Hill Road. The details of the amendment can be found at dchcmpo.org. If you want to offer feedback on the proposed changes, you can speak at a virtual public hearing on February 9th. You can also email kayla.peliquin@durhamnc.gov by February 22nd. The newly improved Weaver Street Recreation Center is once again serving as an important gathering and recreational space for its surrounding community. A grand reopening celebration was held at the center on January 19th. The center was closed for a period of time when the larger aspects of the project were taking place. The work included the restoration of the roof, replacement of flooring and windows, and the renovation of the kitchen. The center features a basketball court, game lounge, resource center, horseshoe pits, a multipurpose field, playground, and a variety of rental spaces for community gatherings. It is also a hub for bringing resources to the surrounding communities, such as backpack drives, food drives, toy drives, and health and wellness programs. More information about the center can be found on the facilities page at dprplaymore.org. You can also follow Durham Parks and Recreation on social media. Our police and community safety departments have been awarded grant funding to help improve public safety responses for people dealing with mental illness and who come in contact with the criminal justice system. The Connect Law Enforcement Behavioral Health Responses Program grant is for approximately $848,000 and requires a little more than a $356,000 match. It will be used to contract 3 licensed clinicians and fund site visits to other law enforcement agencies to learn best practices and crisis intervention training. The funding will also pay for supplies and equipment needed for the 3 new clinicians. The purpose of the Connect and Protect program is to support collaborative efforts efforts between law enforcement and behavioral health specialists. These efforts should improve public safety responses and outcomes for people with mental illness and co-occurring mental illness and substance abuse issues. More information about the grant can be found at bja.ojp.gov.